Hey everybody, and welcome to It's Tuesday, my dudes, with a very, it's a docket that has been written for generic templating. All I know today is we're going to start with Tetris 99. Following that, I don't know, we got 2 hours. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I would like to play new games on Steam, but I don't know which ones. So I just got home like 10 minutes ago. So, like, yeah, Dawn of Man looks cool. I agree. But does it look 24 Canadian dollars and 64 Canadian cents cool? I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We're going to start with Tetris 99. By the way, Left Alive looks good. It has 15% positive reviews on Steam, and I thought there was a I thought it came out in Japan, and then like immediately after it came out, like a day or two after it came out, they took it off of store shelves. Something like that. I remember there was a big story where it was like, how Square Enix came out with like a AA or AAA game, and then like, oh, that's right, they disabled streaming on PS4. Yeah, they which means, you know, I don't really want to wade into the bucket of syrup of you know, me playing it on Twitch. Who knows? They might be ornery. Plus, I like Square Enix. Hello, Kate. She's standing behind me.
Yo, my husband got new glasses.
I did get new glasses.
Ray-Ban.
That's true.
It looks very smart.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like a contestant from Jeopardy.
Ah, that's complimentary. Okay, did you see this? Left Alive is Square Enix. It's got 15% positive reviews. Left Alive is a brand new survival action shooter telling a human story of survival of 3 different protagonists during the devastating invasion set in war-torn Novoslava in 2127.
That's not that far away from now.
It came out in Japan, and Square Enix disabled streaming it on PlayStation 4.
Wow.
Anyway, I don't know. We're not gonna play this because I'm not gonna pay $80 for a joke. That's some ridiculous. I mean, I could probably find worse games on Steam.
Why not The Occupation? It looks fun.
Because all the reviews are like an hour in, I got a game-breaking bug that caused me to have to restart from the very beginning.
Yeah, but you're only gonna play for 1 hour.
I'm just gonna start playing Tetris 99, and we'll see how the rest of we'll see how it shakes out. I do need to turn it down a little bit though. It's extremely loud. It's like unbelievably loud. There we go.
Yo, I almost got you a win last week.
I did see.
I did a T-spin on your account.
I appreciate that.
I did a T-double.
You know, anytime I can get a T-spin incremented on my account, it's a positive day. Hello, Ruka and Tomo as well.
Whole family is
Yeah, they're like, what's the party going on in here?
You should try the new new meta
The
by
Dan Giesling?
Dan G.
If you
Stack the red chimney high up.
if you haven't seen my good friend Dan Giesling,
Dan Giesling.
you should watch Dan play the game.
Stack up the red chimney.
Kate, I need some serenity at the present moment.
Alright, let's go.
Thank you. This is a tiny office. I could feel the blood pressure starting to rise.
Oh my god.
I have to, you know, I had a glaucoma test at the optician today. I don't want to be impolite, but simultaneously I gotta be honest with the way that with my health here, in my advanced age. So if you haven't seen Dan Giesling Play Tetris 99. What am I doing? It's actually legendary status. It's the most entertaining content I've seen on YouTube in months. Legitimately, sorry, this is one heck of a warm-up game here. Legitimately, my good friend Dan Giesling, his strategies boil down to some nonsensical figure that he wants to build called the swimming pool, which basically consists of complete flatness. Sorry, this is terrible. And then building, you know, on top of the flatness. And then also stacking up what he calls antifreeze, which are the long blue pieces on one side of the map. Not that I'm playing any better right now, to be fair. Alright, here we go. It's been enough pussyfooting around. It's time to get real. This is, you know, it's only a warm-up game if you're actually making progress. You can't just play badly and be like, it's a warm-up. Probably stop building on top of that garbage hole. Shouldn't have done that. That's okay. That's okay. Toss him something like this. Dude, what a mess. Okay, send them. Send them. I'm actually, I'm annoyed I'm not getting more in the way of aggression early on here. At least the great sending has begun. I probably should have been dead. Like that Creed song. Should have been dead on a Sunday morning, banging my hair. You know that one. But I'm not. Instead, I'm alive. Alright, we're starting to get back into it here. I got a greater appreciation, and this is a joke I basically stole from Kate, but it's also the honest-to-goodness truth. I got a greater appreciation for the game of Tetris 99 after watching Dan play it, because I didn't realize that before you get to the top 50, things could be so intense. Like, I literally thought the top 50 of the game was just like you look at the mistakes that I made, and we're still just hanging out, right? I should have been on attackers probably that whole time, but watching Dan play, the top 50 is a non-stop battle for relevance. It's incredible. Now, what I'm saying is rude to my friend. I will always acknowledge that. However, I truly believe that the videos are incredibly entertaining. I think it's more entertaining than if he was actually good at Tetris. And I'm excited to see his journey about how he's eventually going to get there. You know, one thing about Dan, just because he doesn't get it right off the bat, that doesn't mean he's incapable of getting it. He's starting a little bit behind. I would never dispute that, but I don't think he's incapable of understanding, you know, what he needs to do to get a win in Tetris 99. Okay, we're looking as terrible. We're looking for blue blocks. No, we're looking for long, straight blocks. Yo. Dangerous. Not too dangerous. We can make it out of this. Also, somebody, next time Dan streams Tetris 99, if it happens, you guys need to be honest with him. Somehow he's ended up with a lot of incorrect assumptions about the game of Tetris. For example, his favorite piece in the game of Tetris is the square block. Which is like, I mean, not necessarily bad, but to put it politely, very situational. It's a pretty good badge to get there, considering how bad the game has been so far. Okay, we got targets. Or we got targeted, I should say. If we hit top 10, shouldn't get too cocky about this one, because it's been a little messy. If we get top 10, I'll hit you with that radio silence. No disrespect meant. Should have waited, but that's okay. Blue piece will work for us here. That will not. Gonna go attackers real quick. Radio silence has been a very good meta for me. Giving myself permission to not speak for the first time in my adult life. I would recommend it. See? Feels nice, right? Little whack. Blue piece, please. I'll do it. Only because I like you, though. No, you know what? Sure, send it. Okay, I'm gonna hit you with that radio silence real quick. This is getting a little sketchy. This one has no business, like, being here. I should have been erased ages ago. And yet, here I am. So hard to stay committed to radio silence, because I don't want to shut up. You send me garbage, I send you garbage in return. It's the only rule. It's a big one. Ah, we screwed it up a little. You know what? Please rotate. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I built slightly too high. Like one piece too high. Yo, Eric, level 60. That's alright. That was pretty good for a game that started so terribly. So, Ryan. Love to queue for a game of Tetris 99, which takes 10 seconds, and look at chat for what Corey says next. You restreaming that NBA? Check it out, brother. Didn't get the NBA bounty. Plus, I wouldn't dare besmirch the good-natured awareness of the bounty program by not streaming what I currently have. A game based on a media property where a bunch of affable middle-aged gentlemen drive supercars in wonderful locations around planet Earth. That's right, it's called the Grand Tour. Just waiting for the right opportunity to slide that one in and experience real entertainment. Stop talking? No, I refuse. You're watching the wrong show. I get wins on my terms, and my terms are handicapping myself by talking as much as possible. People aren't watching for high-octane Tetris gameplay. At least I don't think so. I'm watching for high-octane Tetris gameplay. I think people are watching for occasionally seeing the triumph of the everyman. You know what I mean? This is a terrible structure right here. It's just terrible. So here's what you're gonna do. What do you got? Do you got a terrible structure? I watch HGTV. You take it down to the ground and you rebuild it. You make it stronger. Anyway, I wanted to be clear. I'm not trying to insult my good friend Dan Giesling. I think the videos are uniquely hilarious. Am I saying he's good at Tetris? No, he's terrible. And that's what makes it so entertaining. If he gets good, it will be a truly inspiring tale of man's triumph over himself. And that's good old-fashioned entertainment as far as I'm concerned. I mean, just to give you a glimpse, I believe in his first, I watched the whole Tetris 99 episode. I don't think he got a kill, which is surprising. You know, this is probably, and I'm not saying this because of like, because I'm better at this than I am at PUBG. But it's not like PUBG where like, kills are kind of hard to come by if you suck like we did. Rather, kills are, I think, very easy to come by in this game. So for him to start from there, if he can make it happen, is going to be an inspirational experience. Sincerely. And I'm going to be here for it, watching every single episode, rooting him on. liking, commenting, and subscribing. From Kate's account, because I try not to watch YouTube on my own account, just because it feels like I'm at the office. Got a little slow brain here. You know, step one of working the slow brain out is acknowledging the slow brain. I got a little slow brain right now. You might want to go... You know, I'm not going to go on attackers. I thought about going on attackers. Then I got a sign from above. The KO. Now we'll go on KOs. Wait a minute. I did go on attackers. Sorry. Sometimes, dude, there's nothing I could do, etc., etc. Not good enough. Orange piece, please. Not orange piece. Green piece. But I'll take the freaking... Alright, send it. Send it. Oh, okay. I can feel the first steps of brain overclocking beginning. It's a landmark moment. You'll remember where you were. Please dump this garbage. Get it out of here. I'm okay. I think... That was bad. I think we're going to make it top 10. You never know. Sometimes you just get targeted for deletion by Wyatt Earp. I don't believe this is one of those times. We do need to stop building on top of the garbage hole, but that's also, you know, that's not so good. It's also a requirement, you know, you got to get the right pieces, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, send them. A little bit on the garbage hole there, but hopefully not a catastrophic amount. Hate to do it. It's a real issue now. Got to keep clearing lines. We're screwed. You know what the worst part about it is? I did it. That's rough. Kept clogging the garbage hole. Check Dan's Twitter. Oh no. Oh no. Late schedule change. I will not be on Team Unity Tuesday tonight, but there is a challenge for them on the server. DNA is not here, but do not fear. 3 riddles with treasure await for your pleasure. 3 challenges for each Unity member. Say what you will about Dan. The man has an eye for the show. Even in his Tetris videos, he's hitting you with the live telestration. He's an entertainer. That's the other thing, I didn't even mention it. You know, he's in my head. He's living rent-free. Because I'm talking about him and advertising him on my own platform. But in Dan's Tetris videos, somebody must have given him the impression somehow. I don't know if it was 20 years ago or whatever. But they gave him the impression that the optimum Tetris strategy is to match like colors with like colors. So like greens go with greens, reds go with reds. So what it ends up with, oh my word, is that the dude he'll get like a green piece, like you can see coming in 2 here. And then he'll like stack it like this. And then he'll just end up on the left side of his screen having like the left side be so much higher than the rest of it. Sorry, I slowed down there to demonstrate a point. He'll have like one huge chimney. And then the rest of the board will be like bereft. This should go here even though it's a garbage hole. I think. I'm not even worried about this. Like, I really truly believe there is, I mean, there's always going to be an optimum way to play. But if you got a lot of attackers, all you do at the start of the game is send lines. If you send lines, you will get kills. If you get kills, you will get more kills. And then you have a really good chance to come out ahead, honestly. I might be stacking a little slow for the time being, but I really think as long as you're making lines when you get into a Rorschach situation like this, you can't go wrong. The only way you go wrong in this situation, I think, is by trying to get a little too fancy with it. Trying to build up like a bunch of Tetrises when instead you could just be getting a crap load of KOs the old-fashioned way, you know? Like, I love this. And the ideal for me would be to transition from this... Excuse me, controller was kind of haunted there. Transition from this kind of Rorschach situation into into getting continually targeted for deletion due to badges. Like, I for real think that that's the way forward in these situations. Anytime you get targeted a lot in the early game is a blessing, and you do well to keep it moving forward. Kate's right, my controller is a little haunted. She was talking about it last night, and I was like, I don't know if she, you know, maybe it's a PEBCAC issue, but now that I use it myself, I don't know, maybe it's getting a little light on the old battery front. Non-stop? Is it's haunted non-stop? No attackers, or few attackers. This, to me, is a situation we switch back to a little Rorschach meta. She's right. Dude, the controller is extremely haunted. That's not why I'm about to get deleted here. Ah! But simultaneously, it was moving by itself there. I don't know how to explain it, but when the controller vibrates, it's like a ghost takes control of the piece, and it's like you can't move it there. It like resists. Yeah, it vibrates non-stop and then moves the block. Ghost, ghost, I hope it's a You guys like Neutral Milk Hotel? Yeah, me too. I mean, how could you not, right? No? Oh, I found the only enlightened one amongst us. What have I done? That's, you get ready for the L slip right there. It's not a T-spin, it's an L slip. Oh, Christ, I got myself Danieled up already. That's alright. You're only out in this game in two circumstances. One is, you get targeted for deletion by the god of Tetris. Everybody knows. And you know what it looks like, too. The other one... I'm not very proud of that move right there. The other one is when you give up. Sometimes it's out of your hands, you know? I don't believe 100% you have control of your own destiny in this, much less any BR. But, I definitely, you know, you don't want to give up too early. I've seen a lot of games, not necessarily with me, but with better players, where, you know, the average person would have given up early. Instead, they don't. They fight back and have a darn good finish. I'm not saying that you're... You know, we're going to have that situation cemented for ourselves early here. I do want to say as well, this is not necessarily in my own defense, because I don't think I got anything to defend just yet. But, I got some new glasses going on here, as Kate mentioned earlier on in the stream. You know, my eyes are getting adjusted. Quite frankly, I'm not used to seeing this well, which I think... puts me at a disadvantage for now, but on the long tail, we should look to that as a positive. You thought new sticks made me go to London 2012? Well, dude. New specs. is going to change the game forever. Maybe could have gone for what's known as a Tetris there, but I'll live with it. Yeah, this is fine. I hate it. I built myself into a forced compromise there, but there we go. So I'm just sending lines real quick. Let's go KOs. What do we have? 2 KOs? Dude, that's nothing. Tell you, I gotta play a lot faster. Slowing your roll, I think, is normally a good thing, but I've been doing a bad job of it. Blue piece, please. Good enough? Good enough? Oh, we got a lot of garbage to clear. Yeah. Stop building on the garbage hole, Dad. I'll take the blue. I'll accept the blue. And send them. Still, like, super far from being out of the woods. You really just need any piece that can slot in. Yo, 2 in a row. How dare you force me to take advantage of the resin. It's like in Edge of Tomorrow when Tom Cruise gets that blood transfusion. You know the one. Pivotal part of the movie. Pretty much just accidentally spoiled a major plot point. My mistake. But at the same time, if you hadn't made an effort to see one of the most innovative sci-fi films released in the last 5 years by now, all the cries of spoilers fall on deaf ears just a little bit, I would say. Okay, you never stack blues, which is why I did it right there, to demonstrate for you that that's a suboptimal way to approach the situation. Go for it. Okay, that garbage hole is getting real dangerous. Oh, yo, dudes! All right. So this is, I'm not saying I was perfect there, but that was a targeted for deletion situation for sure. That was a rough one. Still, 12th place. Always like to see who we eliminated. One day Shroud's going to be in there and we're going to become Twitch famous. How do you feel about gummy bears? I don't like gummy bears as much as the average person seems to. However, I don't believe, you know, I'm not saying I'm the only enlightened one, but when people are like, gummy bears are my favorite candy, I don't like them that much. Including the Haribo ones. But if you like them, that's cool. It does not bother me. If anything, I'm happy you can get some joy out of, you know, something that's... all it takes is a little bit of simple syrup. And if you can derive pleasure from that, then, you know, I think that's one step towards making the world a better place. Maybe a little bit hoity-toity of an opinion to have about bears that are also gummies, but so help me, I believe it. You never stack those is the thing. You definitely don't do that. Like, that would be just extremely dumb. My God, he's flaunting the rules. And yet here he is. You know, this'll work. I don't like being sent garbage early, because I think we got like a little Rorschach situation going on here, but here's the real kicker. I think I might be the Rorschach. You know, you're always somebody else's Rorschach, and it's taken me a long time to realize this, you know? You're somebody else's Rorschach. You're somebody else's Wyatt. You're somebody else's Steph or Sherry. To some people, you're the god of Tetris, randomly targeting them for deletion. So I do not begrudge them the offenses that they pile upon me, because I pile those offenses on them in return. It's very important to remember that. Today's workaday world. I would like a pink piece, but I can wait. Long piece also acceptable. 1 KO, I gotta tell you, it's not good enough. The only way I think I can get out of this situation, 2 KOs, I mean, it's better. I could start to target badges and hope for the best. But you're going to have to defeat a Wyatt to make that situation work. Strikes me as unlikely, but you know what? If you're going to do it, there's no time like the present. If only I could get some collusion going. You know, if I can get multiple people to start attacking these Wyatts. I also need to play, like, literally... Yikes, dude. Like, substantially faster? Okay, I've screwed myself. I did that. My targeting was not so good. Got me into trouble there. 4 times that speed? Absolutely. Noticeably slower. I'm telling you, dude, I'm seeing the glasses is the thing. My previous glasses I had since 2016. I wasn't seeing the glasses anymore. Now I'm seeing the glasses, and it's like one extra step in the flowchart. Okay, you ready? You were noticeably swoller in the Meowbox videos. Please don't objectify me. I'm a serious artist. Also, thank you. Probably the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Okay, just faster. You know what? I'm going to try something out. You better hope this works, by the way, because the next step in the evolution process, if radio silence meta at the start doesn't work out, is... can I get wins with non-stop Twitch Prime subscriptions distracting me? So hopefully, you know, for your sake, this one works. Otherwise, y'all are going to be watching a lot of unsolved mysteries this month. 12 seasons available now on Amazon Prime Video. So I'm trying to hit you with the radio silence, but again, it's hard to convince myself to stop talking. It's a real problem. Just ask Kate. Let's do it. Yo, it's a bummer, dude. We need a long piece. Yeah. Okay, this is fine. Took a second, but ended up being fine. Like, I don't like to compromise either, but sometimes the compromises have to happen. When you've made mistakes earlier, you know? Sometimes a compromise is the only way to get yourself out of a mistake that you made ages ago. Maybe without even realizing you made it. But also, just play faster. You can play faster than this. We can overclock the cerebral cortex. I'm not afraid. But it has to be faster with a point. Can't just be faster for no reason. Like, that's an example of where you'd probably want to speed up and not be so bad. This is okay. Looks bad is fine. Like a callus. Looks bad, but totally harmless at the end of the day. I actually like this move the most. Save it. Oh, it's the old save and send. Ready to happen. Who dares attack me? On this. The day of my G-Cat. Alright. Hanging tough. Staying hungry. Going the distance. You know we're not gonna stop. Just a man and his will to survive, brother. Gotta fill this gap. This is looking like one that is gonna require a little bit of extra finesse to survive. Really don't want to cover that garbage hole, dude. I thought that one is probably the most thought I put into any decision in my life. Right there. Do you cover the garbage hole or do you not cover the garbage hole? Ah, that's real bad. Okay, bail, dude. How you gonna bail yourself out of this situation? This has to go here. Sometimes, and I've espoused this belief before, making a mistake is bad. Full stop. But if making a mistake kicks your butt into gear, so you play a little better for a bit, maybe it's not the end of the world, you know? We got an orange coming up. Yes. Wyatt's definitely hungry, though. He doesn't want me to make it. I can't blame him. Because you know what happens if I live? 2 Wyatts in the top 10. Whoops. Looks like we won't be having to worry too much about that. Let me out. All I ask is that you die. I did it to myself. Dude, not seeing the board very well, honestly. Taking a little stretch. Deep breaths. Can we expect more Tetris 99 going up on YouTube? Yes. Starting today. Starting tonight, I should say. Will you play the new Dota hero? Absolutely not. Never. That's 2 pieces of good news. Try playing without your glasses. Okay, so no joke. The glaucoma test is, I shouldn't call it a glaucoma test, because it's probably a test for other things as well. But the way that it works is that you take your glasses off, and then they flash, like, bright and dim lights at the edges of your vision in this specially made contraption, right? My right eye was so bad that I almost couldn't see bright lights that were not even at the edge of my vision, that were literally like where my vision, you know, they were like, look here, and I was like, okay. Then they flashed the light, and I was like, I don't see it, and they're like, you should see it, and I was like, oh, that thing. I thought that my brain was making that up, and they were like, thanks for the pity laugh, but it wasn't really a joke. Yo, I'm too slow. Brain's broken. Okay, speed up. Spit up. Spit up. Oh, he's learning. That's a big one. I know we're covering the garbage hole. It's gonna sound absolutely brain dead and may well be. The reason I'm covering the garbage hole is to give myself the opportunity to send more lines. I know. NL, what are you thinking? That's the most backwards logic I've ever heard. Is it? Well, thank you for bringing that up. I'll take it under advisement in the future and continue to try to modify my playstyle in a way that is entertaining and also hopefully helps to lead to some wins now and then. Really appreciate. You honestly wouldn't have gotten to this point were it not for the advice I gotten from Chad in the first place. So I gotta give credit where credit is due. T-spin more? Dude, it's actually like dumb advice. And I'm not saying you're dumb for saying it. But it's my least favorite piece of advice. And the only thing you need to know about my justification for it is that in Dan's first Tetris 99 stream and video, he T-spins all the time. And he's not good at Tetris. Just T-spinning doesn't mean anything. You know, you gotta T-spin with opportunist, goodbye. You have to T-spin with an agenda. Put your tender heart in a blender. Oh no, just end me. He's better than you though. Here's the thing. He's not. For real, dude. He's not. Go. This is how I know you haven't watched the video, dude. Dan isn't terrible. Go watch the video. Please do tell him I said that. I would love to get a little friendly rivalry going on. He is, I checked. He's not, though. You have to go see the video. There, that's the last bait I'm gonna fall for. I know that in internet parlance, the worst thing you can do is fall for bait. It reveals you as having a smooth brain. That's right, I read all the forums, even the bad ones. It's what keeps me strong. See, probably should have put the orange block with the orange block. That was the one situation where matching colors is actually the right idea here. You know what? Send them. No, not the really bad ones. Just the edgy ones. You're like, this bad one? No, God, no. What do you think, I'm a conspiracy theorist? You ever watch the show? I mean the ones that think they're bad, and then they go to school and they hold both straps of their backpack with their hands. You know the ones I'm talking about. Anyway. Send them. Send them. Send them again. Please don't attack me like that. Dude, I've been known to hold the straps of my backpack as well, okay? It's only when you go to the forum that's specifically designed for people who hold the straps of their backpack that I start to call your judgment into question. You really should, by the way. I mean, you should put both straps of the backpack on. In case you're one of those, you know, you're living that one-strap life, I don't recommend it. It's bad for your back. I know that at your current age, you're like, well, it's bad for my back, whatever, Mom, I'm gonna live forever, you know? She just wants what's best for you. You're probably, and I'm gonna level with you, you know, is pretty unlikely you're going to end up having a degenerative, you know, spinal disorder when you're 55, and then your doctor's going to be like, well, when you were 16, did you use both straps on your backpack? But, you know, just because it's not necessarily gonna directly result in you having an injury doesn't mean it's not the right thing to do. It's a complicated, you know, confluence of multiple different factors working together that lead to things like injury. You know, you got to worry about genetics and, you know, the increasing load and... Oh, it's haunted! It's haunted! Again, you may not believe me. That was a haunted controller situation, though. Super not free, by the way. We're in a very dangerous and nigh even deleterious situation. I would prefer not to. I would prefer not to, though. Oh, I've screwed this up something fierce. Fight. No! Dude, I'm having a terrible day of Tetris. Let's adjust these glasses. The Slay the Spire daily is pretty fun today. Okay, I have played very little Slay the Spire over the past 3 months. I think I've finally broken the spell. I still need to beat A20. I'm 99% of the way towards having essentially completed everything that I feel needs to be completed in Slay the Spire. And I'm happy for it. And again, the fact that I've, you know, it's not that the game has lost its luster, it's just that I've played such a staggering amount of it. That I've moved on to other games as a hobbyist, and I think it's a nice change, honestly. Slay the Spire has held my attention as like my go-to casual game for a couple of years at this point. One attacker? No thanks, brother. So that should be a KO. In my world, that's a KO. Now, somebody in chat, they brought up a very useful thing for me. I wasn't paying attention to why I was doing so badly. Once I have my first big send, I have a habit of no longer planning for my next big send. Mind you, I do need to clear that garbage hole, but anyway. Now, this was not the right time to invoke that idea, but... Yo, that I rotated in the wrong direction. Hold on. That was not a haunted controller situation. I no longer allow myself to besmirch the good name of the Mad Catz Corporation. I gotta take responsibility for mine own actions. Love it. Okay. So I don't know if that's going to be KOs, but we got some okay stuff going on there. What was I saying earlier? I don't remember. What were we talking about? Oh, Slay the Spire. It's a great game, but I probably won't play the daily today. I can't even see chat, but let me fill in the blanks. You were talking about how you hate Slay the Spire now, and you think it's a garbage game. Game of the year, by the way. Alright. That's not fair. That's what's called gaslighting. And just because there's one person saying it doesn't make it true. Okay, I feel like I'm actually in my groove a little bit here, which is why I feel so disrespected by the act of this Wyatt. Yo. Wyatt. Why, dude? I thought we were cool. This goes here. Let me live. Let me live. Let me live. Just let me live long enough to send. Just let me live long enough to send. Yeah, just rotate it and then put it in the exact same spot you were already looking at. That seems sensible. Okay, now we've actually slightly gotten ourselves out of it. I really need the orange, sadly. Yeah, that was bad. I needed that long piece. You cannot, hold on. You cannot KO when you have garbage on your left-hand stack. Your line clears go to clearing incoming garbage. And when garbage is cleared, it then goes to KOing people. Okay. Fair enough. Is there actionable criticism there? What does one do with this information? Play better and T-spin more. You know what? Fair enough. Maybe I will. Hold on. This is not how you're supposed to construct here. I gotta learn the openings, dude. What's the point of even streaming on Twitch if you're not gonna learn the openings? It's like you don't even want to be the greatest Tetris 99 player of all time if you're not even gonna learn the freaking openings. The sacred texts, etc., etc. T-spin, send garbage. I know, but again, I've expressed my. It's not my opinion. It's my fact-based analysis. I can't simultaneously T-spin and play quickly. Now I'm doing neither right now. Let me, you know, get ahead of the criticism with a little criticism of myself. But there's an axiom you can pull from this, which is that I could T-spin, but the T-spin would necessarily force me to play slower as well. I think the T-spin is something you plan for in off-camera practice. It's not, you know, for the production environment. It's like Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk doesn't show up at the X Games and go, check it out, Bob Burnquist. I'm going to try to bust out a 900. Because if he does that, Bob Burnquist is going to start to practice his own 900. And he loses the element of surprise. To be fair, I have no idea if that's how it actually went down back in 1999 at the X Games. It is totally possible maybe they're very close friends with one another. But I would like to think that Tony Hawk has read Sun Tzu's The Art of War, which I believe contains the formative lesson in game theory, which is I treat my friends like mushrooms. Feed them shit and keep them in the dark. That's from Sun Tzu's The Art of War. Anybody who says otherwise, you have my license to ban them. Not just from the chat, but from the website. Don't sweat it, y'all. We got a real Wyatt-based scenario here. Haunted controller. Luckily, it happened during a circumstance where things were not that bad. That was my first good attempt at recovering. But it was still pretty bad. That's a good piece of advice. When you get Wyatted, change targets. That's something I haven't been doing. NL, have you seen the picture on Twitter of an old man who ate a pint of paint? No, but I did read a long Twitter thread about the results of a study about vaccines today. So pretty much already read the text-based equivalent of that today. I feel like I can't subject myself to the paint. Anyway, if I'm gonna win, we might as well make this the last one. If I'm gonna win, this has got to be the one. Anytime you get Rorschach like this early, you got to come back with a statement. That'll work. Pink piece. Pink piece. Let's go. Acceptable. Okay, first KOs are flowing. That's what you like to see. That's not that impressive. Please hold your applause for now. We're going to set up for our next big KO session. Probably something like this. It's not as good as I would have liked, but it'll get the job done temporarily. Or, like, maybe permanently. So I still probably got some hanging chads out there, so let's send them where they belong. Where the eagles fly on the mountain high. Wrong piece, wrong piece. Use your brain. Okay, thank you. Sometimes I just need to remind myself. Which is why I said thank you to myself, you know? Use your brain. I think it's time to switch off of attackers. We've eliminated or squandered most of the Rorschach. I think we did okay. What do we have? 5 KOs? Not so bad. Not so good, but not so bad. Something about the flow state of Tetris, man. When you start to just, like, you see where the pieces are supposed to go, and there is a place where they're supposed to go much of the time. And you just slot them in, you know, everything in its right place, like a Radiohead song. Told you. Probably could have dealt with a blue down there, but we got a little tower-based situation, that's fine. Little radio silence never hurt anybody. Five kills, top 50, is probably the best situation we've been in for a little while here. I think we should plan for a big send. So let's keep that slot open as long as we can. Screwed it up something fierce. Let's try again. Let's keep that slot open as long as we can. On the far right. Okay. Lots of targets. Let's go attack, or lots of targeters, I should say. We'll go attackers. Try to keep ourselves out of the woods. It's a cruel joke that as we start to approach the end of the Tetris segment, it's the first time I truly find myself feeling comfortable. But that felt right. That might get a KO. No promises. We're kind of, you know, operating in a Wyatt-rich environment right now. All right. Not sure about that one. Has to happen. We got to make up for that inefficiency. You know, this is dumb. I should have waited until we saw where the garbage hole was. It's winnable. The dude just can't keep sending this many lines. So we've been targeted. Let's go back to KOs. Maybe we can lose our aggro, you know? It's one thing to ask for actionable criticism or, you know, ways to improve, but you gotta actually do something with it. Following that point, let's go back to attackers real quick. Gotta clear some lines. I don't know about this one. That was okay. Let's try it again. We were doing all right there. It got tough. I've coined a new law. The law has not been codified in a YouTube video yet. But here's the law. It's called Wyatt's Law. It's very similar to Moore's Law, the law that says that the number of capacitors that can fit on the same square, well, the same space, essentially, the same area of a computer chip, doubles every 2 years. That's Wyatt's Law. In order to place at the same position in Tetris 99, your skill has to double every 2 weeks. Transistors, capacitors, what's the difference? I'm not an electronic engineer. What? Okay, I was not looking at the screen when I placed that one. And I'm going to suggest that that's what led to that. I think that oftentimes, it's a little controversial, but I think looking at the screen when you play Tetris can be important. It's just a dang old mess, isn't it? You know what? Temporary Giesling strats to get us out of a jam. Bless you. Yo, I don't want any more orange pieces. We got enough orange, okay? That's what we need. And then, like, more of them. Oh, Lord. The Giesling strats. Foul Temptress. We got a KO out of that. That's really all you need to know. The fact that we could play like that and get a KO. That's what it's like being in the first 50. Tell you what, that guy holds his backpack with 2 straps. Alright, we've almost worked our way out of our previous disaster. Still a little, you know, derelict badness. And we're definitely, you know, I'm disrespecting the garbage hole. I don't mind, you know, disrespecting something that deserves to be disrespected. Oh, haunted controller. But the garbage hole didn't ask for this. We could really use that long piece. Oh, here we go. It's not good. I have made a mistake. It's alright. It's not over until I say it's over. It is a bad look. You know, if you're spending this much time fighting back the garbage that's being sent to you. Mind you, the garbage that they send us, you know, it's a Beatles situation, right? The garbage you make is equal to the garbage you take, or vice versa. Proud. Let's not. You saw the greed. You saw a man almost sabotage himself in pursuit of the almighty Allah right there. I said the almighty Allah. It's a Simpsons reference. If you're not familiar with the classical works, that's not my problem. I produce content for an enlightened audience. If you aspire to get there and you're not there yet, that's fine. Happy to have you. Well, you know what? Dump it. Not sure about this one, boys, but we're gonna give it the old college try nonetheless. Trying some real funky plays. Types of plays they don't teach you about at the academy. Like that one, for example. There's a reason they don't teach you one, you know, moves of that caliber at the academy. It's because it's very bad. Just a highly ill-advised maneuver, and yet here we are. Yep. This is a big one for me. Because until this point, our best game on the stream had been my so-called warm-up match. That's not a great sign. You know what? That's perfect. Okay, radio silence. New policy. Radio silence inside the top 10. Yo, that last one didn't rotate the way I wanted it to. Send it. No blues coming. Sometimes you gotta make your own blue. This is a real issue. Yeah, I screwed this one. It all fell apart. Still, could have been worse. Could have been better. Definitely could have been worse, though. Yo, if you're gonna put like a URL in your Switch name, you better crush it, dude. You can't come 63rd place. By the way, we're gonna do one more. I'm finally seeing the board. Austin said Terraria is going to be the next Unity game. I doubt that very much. I bet what Austin said is now that we've played Minecraft, maybe people will be open to more survival stuff like Terraria. I very much doubt that he said Terraria is going to be the next Team Unity game. I debated all of chat with that one. Sorry, guys, we got a scholar in the audience. It appears we've been bested by Loki, the Norse god of mischief. That'll teach you to believe in things. That's why you always have to do your own research. And by that, I mean Google for 2 hours and don't go to any websites that are backed by big pharma, okay? Anything that ends in a .edu is trying to lie to you or push an agenda. Put your tender heart in a blender and still I'll surrender to you. I was gonna say, you know, like radio silence is probably a wise idea, but why lie to you and lie to myself? You know I'm not gonna be quiet here. Try to fluke our way into the top 10, then we'll see how she goes. Yo, Wyatt? We're gonna die, dude. Attackers! Assemble! Send them! I refuse to go gently into the good night. Wyatt, I don't know what I'm playing next, brother. You can't knock me out this early. Alright. Well, that was bad. Well, there's no better place to finish than 69th, I suppose. I'm gonna run some advertisements while I figure out what the heck I'm gonna play, dude. Feel like I was spoiled for choice last week. I also feel bad. There's not much getting around this. But I feel bad because I'm like, I don't know what to play. And then, like, sometimes people making video games will tweet me and be like, my game just came out. You want to play? And I'm like, it's not your fault, but that's not what I was trying to get at. I didn't mean there's no games. I just meant there's no games I want to play. It's not even to say that your game is bad, just that, you know, doesn't look like something I want to play immediately. Civ 6, dude, no. It's going to take too long.